What is up, Heat fans? We have a special late night Saturday edition of the Heat Report by Chat Sports. Welcome in. I'm Nick Roloff. It is presented by Prize Picks. There is a lot of smoke right now that Giannis Antetokounmpo could be traded to the Miami Heat tonight. And we're going to kind of talk about all the momentum, kind of just hang out, talk about what a trade could look like if it does get finalized. There's been rumors of it being a 3-team deal. There's been a rumor of it being a 4-team deal, heck, even a 5-team deal with maybe even the Lakers, the Grizzlies being involved. We know if the Miami Heat acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, it is going to be a 3-team deal at minimum, with the Detroit Pistons in this deal acquiring Tyler Hero. That seems to be a foregone conclusion if this deal gets pushed past the finish line. But this thing could be massive, dude. Like, it could really include 5 teams. Heck, I wouldn't even be shocked if it includes 6 teams. We actually talked about this on a video we put on the channel on Friday morning, that I predicted it would be a 5-team deal, because if the Grizzlies could be involved, you look at what the Bucks have been talking about wanting to move on from Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma, or at least one of them. Well, the only way that you can get the Bucks to get rid of Giannis and Portis or Kuzma is if you include a 4th or 5th team, because it's just impossible to ultimately get a 3-team deal done with all of those contracts being included. So we'll go through a lot of what has been talked about over the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 hours. We'll go through what we've heard over the past 48 hours. People are talking about, am I staying live until the trade goes down? I won't go that far. Listen, I don't know if it happens tonight. There's a lot of momentum right now on the side of a trade occurring tonight, but I'm not going to guarantee it. I've said that I think Sunday night is going to be the night that gets it done. Now, I originally said I could see it being this past Thursday, and I did believe that for some reason in my gut. I didn't guarantee it. I don't have sources. I'm kind of just reacting and reading the tea leaves of what everybody else is saying. But to me, it feels like Sunday night is the deadline, quote unquote, because remember, Bucks owner Jimmy Haslam said that, hey, we want to get clarity and get this done potentially before the draft if Giannis isn't going to extend. Well, Antetokounmpo, he's not going to extend. So if they want to get this done before the draft, it benefits Milwaukee more to be done by tomorrow night, because that would give them 48 hours before the first round begins on Tuesday, June 23rd, to kind of strategize a draft plan. And whether that be them wanting to move up from pick 10 and 13 to get into the top 5 or 6 to get a prospect they really like Michael Brown or Darius Acuff or a Braden Burries. I don't know who the Bucks brass wants in the draft, but if they want to move up, they can if they get the deal done tomorrow or tonight. And if they don't, well, then guess what? You still have a plan that you can finalize either tonight or tomorrow or Monday night going into the first round with pick 10 and pick 13. So I do think it makes a lot of sense for Milwaukee to kind of get this done prior to Sunday night, which is tomorrow, obviously. They could take it in the Miami territory and maybe do it on Monday, but I don't think that happens. We'll see what happens here. We're going to be breaking it all down, man. I know there's a lot of excitement about this trade potentially being happening. I'm so excited about the idea of adding Giannis to Miami, more or less because obviously I think we'd be a team that can really threaten the Eastern Conference, but we have had so many different big name trade targets not go through, right? I mean, go back to 2022 when the Heat didn't pursue Donovan Mitchell all of the way because they were kind of hoping to get Kevin Durant. Well, the Nets weren't going to trade KD unless the Heat included Bam. They didn't. So then he got traded at the deadline to Phoenix. And that ultimately allowed Miami to miss out on Donovan Mitchell as he went from the Jazz to the Cavaliers. And then obviously the debacle in 2023 with Damian Lillard, which still scars Heat fans. Heck, it still scars me. You have what happened last year when the Heat were pursuing Kevin Durant, but at a price that they weren't willing to meet, and the Rockets ultimately outbid the Heat last offseason. And KD had a terrific year. And I don't know if that would have changed anything for Miami, but certainly would have been better than the 10 seed. I mean, we can definitely say that. So I just think like this trade for the Heat is almost more important to get done just because we've been so close to acquiring superstars, but haven't been able to get them. Is Pat Riley going to finally be able to get this done? Like, I freaking hope so. I mean, if he doesn't, like, this might be the time where it's like, all right, you got to hang it up. Like, seriously, like, this feels like the one. They've been holding their assets for Giannis, then not wanting to get into the 2027 cap space for Giannis. And if you're going to ultimately say all of this, do all of this for the idea that Giannis could be available, and then he becomes available, and you can't get a trade done, what are we doing? So that's why I honestly think this trade is more important for the Heat to get it done. Like, you can argue that the Heat won't be able to win a title this year. And I could actually see why you'd believe that. I think Bam and Giannis could be elite. I think it might be the best duo in the Eastern Conference. Seriously. But I'm not going to come up here and say I expect a championship in year one. Like, I would say if the Heat get Giannis, I would hope to be in the conference finals in year one, like us, either versus New York or Boston in the conference finals this year, if we get them. And then in 2028, this would be 2027, I guess. This would be 26, 27. I would say 27, 28. So year two of Giannis and Bam is when I would hopefully get that deal done. I mean, we're going to answer some comments and still chop it up and look at the latest here, but do got to show some love to Prize Picks, the sponsor on today's stream. Get started with them. Use code HMA to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. There's so many different ways to play, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's daily baseball, whether it's the U.S. Open this weekend. I haven't had some good luck with the U.S. Open, but I do feel good about this lineup in the future. You can do future lineups already on the football season. More on Fernando Mendoza, 9.5 regular season games started. I think he takes over for Kirk Cousins in October, which would put him on pace to start 12 games or so. He might even start week 1 against the Miami Dolphins. Seriously. So I like that one a lot. And with Arizona, they're going to be awful. The Cardinals are going to be terrible. So because of that, Carson Beck, the rookie, is probably going to start the final 2 months of the year. So I think Carson Beck's going to get like 6, 7 starts. I think Mendoza's going to be at least at 12. That's a lineup that I'm intrigued on. Join Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring us here at the Heat Report. But why are we live, right? And we'll answer some questions here in a second. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. We got 380 people watching, only 40 likes. Please hit that thumbs up icon. That's cool. I didn't know that StreamYard, which is how we're streaming, could do that. We had a like icon when I just put my thumb up. That feels crazy. It did it again, but pretty cool. This is only our second time ever going live on the channel using StreamYard at home. We did it yesterday. We're doing it today. So that was cool. Either way, hit that thumbs up icon as we're here hanging out. You know what? And that's going to be on a nice little sign. You know, I don't know if you guys heard that, Chris. High Noon, not sponsored, Black Cherry. Let's have a night. Saturday night here on the Heat Report. Why not? Late night. But why are we live? That's a good question. Well, it's because, honestly, the entire kind of, I wouldn't say saga, but the entire kind of momentum that caused Heat fans for excitement tonight started when the Locked On Pistons host, now, I don't know if I'm going to say his name right, but his Twitter handle is Ku Kahil. He has 18,000 followers over on Twitter. He hosts Locked On Pistons. He has a Substack. But the reason why is he tweeted out at 3:44 Central, so 4:44 Eastern, I'm hearing Tyler Hero to Detroit is picking up steam. And you might throw this away and say, well, does he have any actual sources? The answer is yes. And I'm not going to claim that he is Shams level, but based off what Pistons fans have said in his mentions based on his history of having the Duncan Robinson sign and trade. He tweeted it about, I think, 4 or 5 hours before Shams did. He's had sources in the past about things that the Pistons ultimately did, and then Shams, or whether it was Woj 2-3 years ago, tweeted later. So he is not a person who throws out information or rumors for clicks. He has said he will only tweet something when he actually hears it from legit sources. So for him to say Tyler Hero to Detroit is picking up steam means that maybe this thing could be on the precipice. Now, is that going to mean a trade is happening tonight? I don't know. But I do think him hearing that tells me the Pistons are interested in getting Tyler Hero, and they feel like the Detroit does feel like this could be finalized in the next 48 hours, maybe, because I don't think they're putting that out there if that wasn't the case. I've thought Tyler in Detroit made a lot of sense in the past because the thing that they lacked in the postseason was shooting, secondary playmaking. I mean, they barely cracked 100 points if they got there in the postseason, in the first round against Orlando, in the second round against Cleveland. They need another guy in the backcourt to help Cade Cunningham. And I think Hero's a really good fit there. Like, listen, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Tyler Hero over here on the Heat Report. I mean, I'm a fan of Tyler. I have said that it's time for Miami and Tyler to go their separate ways because he's been here 7 years. We've made 2 finals runs, one with him as a main piece as a rookie, one with him injured in 2023. He's just been so up and down in terms of his availability and his play in the postseason. That's just time for Miami and him to go separate ways is best for all. And I think this is the best fit possible for Tyler. I mean, you get to play next to a first-team All-NBA level guard, MVP guy in Cade Cunningham, where he's going to get the bulk of the defensive energy and effort, and Hero can just kind of play off the ball and as a secondary guy. And you look at the defense that they have in terms of All-Star Thompson, Jalen Duren at the rim. That's a really good fit, man. So I understand why Detroit's involved, and it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. You saw Ethan Skolnick say that. You saw a Pistons guy. You saw Jake Fisher. You saw Mark Stein. So there is a lot of people connecting the dots between Detroit and Tyler Hero. And I hope for Tyler's sake gets it done. I hope that Miami is going to be able to land Giannis because of that. So it's going to be an exciting time, man. It's going to be a very, very exciting time potentially, not only for Tyler, but for Miami if it lands Giannis. Now, this isn't the only thing that made us kind of feel like things may progressing here between Miami, Detroit, Milwaukee for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But you hear Ethan Skolnick say there could be 4 or 5 teams involved here. Well, how about Anthony Irwin, who covers the Los Angeles Lakers, who I would say, is he the most tapped in guy? I don't know, but definitely has sources, has broken news in the past. He said that the Lakers have been in contact with the Bucks and Pistons as a part of a potential multi-team deal that could send Giannis to Miami and Isaiah Stewart going to Los Angeles. Well, guys, think about this, right? And I'm not sure this would happen, but the Bucks have been wanting a lot of draft capital. They're not thrilled with the Miami Heat's offer. Remember that he can send 13 and then 2 future first-round picks alongside young guys. And they're not that thrilled with Miami's young guys, specifically Hero, Jovic. They're intrigued with Ware. They're intrigued with Jaquez. They're intrigued with Yakachonis and Larson. But what if the Pistons, who have to match salary, $15 million for Isaiah Stewart, $14.5 million for Karis LeVert, what if they send LeVert to Miami, they send Stewart to Los Angeles, the Lakers, and then pick 21 to the Milwaukee Bucks? But what do the Lakers have to send to land Isaiah Stewart? Well, 2 years left on his contract, has a team option next year. Really energetic, athletic, physical, rebounding defensive big. Seems like that's something that Los Angeles wants. Would they send their first round pick this year to the Bucks for Isaiah Stewart? That would be pick 25, which would land the Bucks a third first round pick in this draft in the trade, 4 total, and plus all the young guys Miami's giving. And I would say that's hard for the Bucks to pass up, right? And this is all hypothetical, but in this deal, that's a 4-teamer potentially. The Bucks have now pick 10, pick 13, 21, 25. They have 4 first rounders this year. That's a heck of a start to your rebuild with this draft class that's really solid in the first round. But that doesn't even factor in the 2 future first round picks you get from Miami, the young guys in Ware and Jaquez, and maybe another, maybe not. To me, I don't know how the Bucks are going to justify, if that actually was on the table, taking another deal. And I know people will be concerned about a 3-teamer with Jaylen Brown going to Atlanta or Portland or whatever. But if the Miami Heat are able to actually get a 4-team deal where the Bucks are getting 13, 21, 25 this year, young guys and future firsts, that is to me a better package than what the Celtics can come up with involving a 3rd team and Jaylen Brown. I don't know if the Lakers are actually that interested, but if they were to offer pick 25 for Stewart or Kel'el Ware, that's a deal that I think really benefits the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe that ultimately happens. I mean, we've heard that buzz. Listen, it's all speculation. Nobody's reporting that it's going to happen tonight. But let me read some, and I hope they're not going to get mad at me if they happen to be watching or get sent clips of this, because I'm subscribed to the 5 Reasons Sports Network Off the Floor Discord. They do a terrific job. I respect them so much. I watch them and listen to them when I was in like high school and college before I ultimately started this channel in 2023. But they've been talking crazy on there in terms of like how they think things could be progressing here. For example, like Ethan went on a rant talking about it. Hold on. He said that he would be surprised if the Heat need to give up both Kasparis, Yakachonis, and Pelle Larsson. That would be pretty nice. A Boston writer on Sports Illustrated who is connected with sources said Bucks and Heat sites on Sports Illustrated should get their stories ready, signifying a trade could be close. Ethan Skolnick did confirm the Lakers have been checked in on Kel'el Ware. So that could speak to that 4-team deal we just talked about. He said also a lot of media people I speak to didn't like Miami's chances as much as I did early on, but now seem to really like their chances. Ethan also went on to say, I had plans, but I canceled. I'm staying in, ordered a pizza, and kind of just hanging out. I'm not saying this thing's close to being done or it's going to be done tonight, but when you hear these people who are tapped into the front office, have sources around the league, and they're being told things could be progressing, you see reporters from LA talk about it, Detroit, how do you not feel as if things are getting close? That's kind of my thoughts on the matter. Now, another intriguing part of this entire saga is the fact that Duncan Robinson could be returning home. Now, I've thrown out the idea of a 3-team or a 4-team trade where Detroit gives up Isaiah Stewart and Karis LeVert to match salaries for Tyler Hero at $33 million, because like I've mentioned multiple times, LeVert and Stewart combined for $29.5 million. Duncan Robinson's making, I think, 15, 16. So what if the Pistons are actually using Duncan Robinson's salary rather than a LeVert or Stewart? Now, I do think Stewart's going to be in the deal no matter what, just because I think he has value across the league more than Karis LeVert does. And I actually think he has more value than Duncan Robinson. But there's been some buzz that Duncan could be in this deal potentially. Now, I don't know where he would go. There's been people floating out the idea that Duncan would actually be coming to Miami. So imagine a reunion. Imagine a trade. Like, actually just think about that for 1 second. If this gets finalized, there is a real world we live in that the Heat get Giannis and Duncan Robinson returns to the Miami Heat. That shit would be electric. Like, I've been critical of Duncan at times for sure because he's a traffic cone defensively. He doesn't really add much on the defensive end. He only adds elite level shooting and playmaking. I mean, because of his gravitational pull with his shot, he allows others to get more opportunities rolling to the rim when defenders ultimately convert two to him. He's a smart basketball player. He obviously had a lot of success doing a pick and roll as well as a dribble handoff with Bam Adebayo. That would be awesome because the Heat need more shooting if they actually do get Giannis. What is more shooting than Duncan Robinson? I don't know if there's a name you could say. I floated out the idea of a four-teamer, I should say, to where the Dallas Mavericks are involved, and you send Niko Jovic to Dallas and Klay Thompson to Miami, which would be basically the same thing as Duncan Robinson. I mean, Duncan makes $16 million this year. Klay Thompson makes 17. And maybe the Mavericks would be willing to trade Klay's expiring to get a young guy in Jovic. Maybe, maybe not. Just throwing out hypotheticals here. Certainly a possibility, though. But if you're wondering if Miami should want Duncan Robinson in a 3-team deal back, fuck yeah, I do. And sorry for swearing here, but Saturday night, a late night edition. Cheers, folks. Duncan would be awesome. Like a dribble handoff with Bam again, dribble handoff with Giannis again. Like, I just feel like Spo would make that work to such a high level. I'd be fired up if Duncan came back. I'd be fired up, man. What's up, Slaying Cat? Appreciate the 530 people hanging out with us here on a late Saturday night. Kind of impromptu live. I tweeted it out. Should I go live on the channel tonight? We got a lot of people saying yes on the Twitterverse. If you haven't already, follow me over on Twitter. @Nick_Roloff is my handle. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be live again if a trade actually goes down, whether it's Giannis to Miami, Giannis to Boston. We are diehard Heat fans over here, man. Like, you see my hat. 2006 world champs. Not going to say that I was watching at the time. I was 6 years old. Actually, I think it was 5 because I was born in 2000. So some of you might gasp at that, but I was born in 2000. Birthday's August 9th. So I think I was 5 at the time, actually, in June of 2006. But I fell in love with the Miami Heat in 2009, 2010. It was a nice little middle schooler, or I guess elementary school at that point. And we've been diehard ever since. We got Heat sweatshirt on, Heat hat on, hoping something happens, man. Hoping something happens. Yeah, I mean, we can show people's comments. If you super chat, we'll get you on screen. We appreciate any donations as we do more content, more live shows. We'll be live for the NBA draft on Tuesday and Wednesday. If the Heat have the 13th overall pick because they don't get a Giannis trade done, we'll be live talking about who the Heat can take. If they do finally get a Giannis trade done, well, we'll still be live on the channel, just hanging out for the first round. But Eddie says, talk about how you became a Heat fan. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of mentioned it briefly here, but I started watching basketball. I mean, no one in my family watched the NBA. I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from New York, Rochester, New York, shout out to 585. Where Isaiah Stewart's from, actually. Fun fact. A lot of talk about Isaiah Stewart where he could end up in a 3-4 team deal, but he's from Rochester, went to McQuaid. I actually played him. No joke. That's no troll. I played Isaiah Stewart in middle school. I'll never forget. I think he was like a year below me or either the same grade. I was playing AAU basketball, and it's his prep school before private school in Rochester, McQuaid, before he went to Where was it? It was some Ohio prep school, and then he went to Washington. But we played him, and he wins the opening tip because, of course, he does. I mean, my team is a bunch of freaking white dudes. That's my AU team. And he wins the tip, goes right down, gets it on the block, drop step dunk. Now, he wasn't on me. It wasn't on me, XG Bauer. But, yeah, I played Isaiah Stewart. So I don't know how we got in that tangent. But, yeah, I'm from New York, so no one really from my family watched the NBA, watched all college basketball, and then I was the first person to watch the NBA. I started watching 09, 2010. It's no secret. Dwayne Wade had his best career year. I know he won the title in 06, but his best statistical NBA season, regular season, was 09, 010 or 09, 10. And I fell in love with him there, and that is how I became a Heat fan. So that's how that happened. But we'll continue to chop it up. Let's see. Are we going to get a bubble again? I want a bubble. Show me another bubble. Come on. There it is. Hit that like button for me. We're at 89 likes, 511 people watching. Let's get to 100 likes. Correct. I will go to my grave, your boy, saying that was a travesty. Everyone wants to talk about Steve Nash robbing Kobe Bryant of an MVP. Hell no, bro. Steve Nash robbed Dwayne Wade of an MVP. That's what happened. That's what happened. Mrs. Wembenyama says, why are you live? Well, I'm live just to hang out. I mean, there's a lot of buzz on Heat Twitter right now about a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo happening tonight. I mean, I'm not going to stay live for 2 hours. We'll probably be live until maybe 11 Eastern time, maybe 11:30 if people are really still hanging in with us. So we're already 27 minutes in to the live show. But there's a lot of buzz, and I just thought it'd be fun to come up here, chop it up with some Heat fans. If the trade happens to go down while we're live, that's an added bonus. But I mean, listen, me and my girlfriend were out with some friends having a lunch and dinner and drinks, watching the U.S. Open, the World Cup, Germany versus Ivory Coast game. I'm seeing all these Twitter rumors start with the Heat, and I was just like, you know what? If the Heat fans want me to go live tonight, when we get home, I'll go live. My girlfriend works tomorrow. She's a occupational therapist, so she's got to wake up at like 6 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning to go in and have like a 12-hour day, which is brutal. Feel bad for her. And she's already sleeping. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? Am I either watching YouTube, the World Cup, or going live on the Heat Report? And I decided I'd rather hang out with you guys. Our first super chat of the night. Let's go. Shout out to Jay Townsend. Timmy says, I didn't know you had a game like that. Come on now. Don't be disrespectful. I'm playing. But you think girls can resist this, man? Come on. They ain't passing on this. They ain't passing. Shout out my guy Jay, though. You're a legend, dude. What's up? Let's get it done. I'm tired of waiting for a positive change. People are delusional to think the Heat can't recruit players to play with them Giannis. I mean, completely agree. It's just ridiculous to me. I mean, I tweeted this out this week, but like it really pissed me off to a degree that it shouldn't have. Like I got really mad at it. But people are saying that the Heat are going to still be a 10 seed. And here's the thing that drives me nuts as well. People will say on the Heat, like from Heat fans will say this, and then we'll get to the national media. Heat fans will say, we're going to trade our whole team for Giannis. We're going to have nothing left. Well, guys, we're trading a team that was the 10 seed. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean to some of the guys that are on the Heat, and who knows, they might still be on the Heat next year if this trade doesn't ultimately happen. But as much as Jaime is cool, what is his real ceiling? I feel like we've already hit it. Is that crazy to me? Like, will he be better than he was this year? I'm not sure that Jaime will be better than a 6 Man of the Year finalist. I thought he was phenomenal this year. I think this is as good as it gets with Jaquez. So you're selling high there. And I would argue Miami should trade Jaime no matter what this offseason, if they can. That's what I would try to do. Matt Don't play like that, man. We would know if it's done. If you're going to try to troll like that, we're going to get you out of here. But so please don't do that. Like, I know you want to be sorry. I know you want to be funny, but like, we ain't doing that. So don't try to act like a fake reporter and say it's done. It's not. But back to the conversation we're having. I don't think Jaime gets any better than this year. So you're trading him at your ceiling. That's a good move. With Ware, and this is the main talking point. Does Khalil Ware have a lot of upside? Absolutely, he does. There's no doubt about it. Guy's 7 feet, 7'4" wingspan, shot 40% from three this year, can block shots, can rebound. The issue that I have personally with Khalil Ware, it's not like I actually have a personal issue, but when I'm talking about as a player, and I've been called a Khalil Ware hater, which is not the case. I wish he was an all-NBA guy. I wish we weren't trading him. I wish it was Bam and Ware, and we didn't have to give up some other first-round picks and assets to get a number one guy, because Ware could be that. But he's not. He's a guy that ultimately had an up and down second season because half the time he didn't give adequate effort. And unfortunately, he's in the one organization, unfortunately for him, not for fans, he's in the one organization where you can't half-ass shit. If you half-ass shit in Miami, you ain't playing. Because that is how Pat Riley rolls. That is how Eric Spoelstra rolls. And I like it. Because when you allow players to half-ass shit and not give full effort, well, then you're setting a bad standard in your locker room. And as much talent as Khalil Ware had, he did not give you maximum effort every single game. And for as many people want to be mad about Bam Adebayo and his up and downs and inconsistencies offensively, what can you guarantee about Bam? He's going to give you 1,000% effort on both ends every night. And that's why I think Giannis is such an attractive superstar for this front office and coaching staff. Because if you watch Giannis play, he is always giving 1,000%. And that's my issue on Ware. He has a high upside, really high upside. But I think that's something that Ware ultimately fell short in Miami, and it's why the Heat are willing to trade him to get a massive upgrade and a superstar guy. So you look at what the Heat are trading here. And I think they're young guys that are fun, and a new organization could maybe get more out of them than Miami has. But if you're the Heat, what do you think your ceiling is with this young core? I think the ceiling with the current Heat is like a really good season where maybe they finish as the 5 seed in our second round exits. But that's the ceiling. You bring Giannis into the fold. Well, now Giannis and Bam, I think one of the best defensive duos in NBA history. It is the best defensive duo in the NBA right now. I really mean that. The versatility, the physicality, the switchability that Bam and Giannis have as a defensive duo, top 10 in NBA history. It's the best in the NBA right now. And then you add in Andrew Wiggins, and I think you have who's a really above average 3-and-D wing with his length, athleticism, lateral movements. I saw a comment from a Detroit guy. Maybe we'll get to this here in a second. Wiggins, Bam, Giannis, legitimately best defensive trio in the NBA, and I think it's top 10 in history. The Heat will be hot. You can bookmark this. You can clip this. I don't give a shit. I truly do believe if the Heat get Giannis, top 5 defensive team next year, without question. But I'll go on record to say they'll be number 1. They'll be the best defensive team in the NBA. Because Eric Spoelstra always has a good defense in Miami, and then you have Bam, Giannis, Wiggins. Bro, that's unfair. It's unfair. Especially in the postseason when physicality is allowed more. Brother, how are you scoring on those 3? Now, obviously, that means they have to stay healthy, but how are you scoring on those 3? So, yeah, I mean, listen, I understand people that are I almost got off topic for Jay, but if you get Giannis, how many veterans out there are going to be willing to take significantly less to join you because they want to chase a championship? So you'll have an older team. There's no doubt about that. But guys that are out there that are searching for a title, they're going to be willing to sign with Miami for, I'm not going to say significantly less, but definitely less to try to chase a championship. Plus, you can say, hey, you signed with us for a little bit less. You'll still be able to get as much money as you would have if you signed in the Lakers or the Knicks because you don't have state income tax here. That's an option as well. Some super chats to roll through. Appreciate everybody for showing us love here. Big Jim, been doing a great job with this channel. Between this and Dolphins channel, you need to just move to Miami and follow the team. You're natural. Well, we appreciate that, Big Jim, very much so. Hey, you never know. Maybe that's in the future. A lot of time left in my life. We'll see what happens. It's been a blast covering both Miami Heat and Miami Dolphins. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to be living in Florida at some point in my life. I was born to live in Florida. Obviously, I'm from New York, but I'm a Miami guy, man. What can I say? I don't know if I'll live in actually the 305, but listen, between us, I know none of you care about this, but if me and my girlfriend we stay steady, we're probably ending up in Florida. Appreciate the $5 super chat. $2. Are you interested? Are the Heat interested in Bobby Portis too? I don't know if they're interested in Bobby Portis. Would they be willing to take him back to get a trade done? That I will say yes. I don't think they're going to let this drag enough, or I don't think they would let this trade ultimately fall through because they weren't willing to take Bobby Portis. And I truly do think they would look to move Portis to a different destination, whether it be a third team, a fourth team, a fifth team, heck, maybe even a sixth team. We've seen a 6-team trade before. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Miami would be willing to take Bobby Portis in, but they could look to move him elsewhere. Listen, if you take in Giannis, like you're trading where a third big becomes something you need because you have Giannis and Bam in the front court, but you don't have anybody else. So Bobby Portis with playoff experience, a familiarity of playing with Giannis, shot above 40% from three last year, can rebound the ball well, 80th percentile defensive rebound percentage each of the last 2 years. There would be a worse decision to take in Bobby Portis, although I think they would rather do a guy like Duncan or Isaiah Stewart if they could. Shout out Soul Chef. People forget the main thing. Coaching matters in the NBA. He have the best coach in the league. Not only that, he's a top 3 coach in 20 years. Coaching does matter. It does. Is Spo the best coach in the league, though? I said that he was for the longest time. I don't think he is anymore. I know it's going to be painful to say out loud, folks. But if I had the gun to my head, who's the best coach in the NBA, I'd probably say it's Joe Mazzulla in Boston, just because of what he's been able to do since taking over for Ime Udoka. I mean, he's been phenomenal over there. Is Spo still top 5? Yes. Is he a top 3 coach in the last 20 years? Yes. I think the only coaches that would be in the same consideration as Eric Spoelstra over the last 20 years, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich. Like, probably would say Popovich is number 1. I think Spo is a better coach than Kerr. I think Kerr's kind of rode the coattails of KD, Curry, obviously. And now I know you could say the same thing for Spo with his 2 titles, coaching LeBron in the Big 3. But his coaching job, getting the bubble team to the finals and the 2023 team to the finals, I mean, unbelievable. So, top 3 coach in the last 20 years? Yes. Best coach in the league? No. But it does matter. He is still the best coach outside of Joe Mazzulla, I think, in the NBA. So I think Spo is either number 2, maybe number 3 in the NBA. I don't know who else you could say, but yeah, he's definitely one of the best. Eddie, God bless you going live so we can celebrate together. Well, Eddie, I'm not trying to jinx anything. I'm just here to hang out with y'all on a Saturday night because what else am I going to do? Y'all are really excited. Appreciate the 550 people watching with us tonight. We will be going live again if a trade happens. I mean, if it happens while we're live, we're going to react to it live together and have maybe the biggest party ever. And I've got about another 12 high noons in my fridge, and we'll just get blasted. I think I would. Especially Saturday. If it happened tomorrow night, like I still got to work Monday, so I don't know if I'd get blasted. But if it happened tonight, it's cooked. It's cooked. But we will be going live. Either if I've said this multiple times, but if Giannis gets traded to Miami, we're gonna go live on the channel. If not tonight, we're gonna be live if he gets traded to Boston or any other team to react to it and vent. We'll be live if somehow the Milwaukee Bucks release a statement that they're keeping him, which I don't think is going to happen either. But we're going to be live in any scenario, folks. Pitch and base. My guy, what's up, pitch and base? I've heard crazy things with the Lakers and Celtics interest in Stewart. Could this really be a 5-6 team deal? I think it could. If I had to bet on it, I would probably say it's going to be more of a 4-team deal rather than 5-6. It's certainly going to be a multi-team deal because we know that the Pistons are going to probably be taking in Tyler Hero no matter what, with some more assets going to Milwaukee. The question is, will there be a 4th team? Will there be a 5th team? If I had a gun in my head, I'd guess 4. With that 4th team either being Brooklyn, Memphis, or Los Angeles. I have a hard time believing that the Celtics would be in on this deal because would they really help facilitate a Giannis trade to Miami? I don't know. That's actually something that's super underrated that I kind of want to bring up real quick. Think about this angle. And I've thought about this. I've seen some people talk about it, but I want to bring it up. The Pistons actually are probably going to want to help Miami get Giannis for more than just acquiring Tyler Hero. I think Hero is a great fit in Detroit because of his shooting, his playmaking, and his experience in playoff moments. Although he hasn't been the best in them, he has a lot of experience in them. Not only would he be a great fit in Detroit, but think about this. The Pistons were the number 1 seed in the East last year. Came up short, lost in the second round. Who was number 2 in the East? And it wasn't the Knicks, it was the Celtics. And the Pistons, who are hoping to take another step forward this year, whether it's with Hero or without Hero, and they're going to probably try to be aiming for a conference championship and a trip to the NBA Finals. Well, what makes that more difficult? Oh, Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo in Boston. So there is motivation from Detroit's side to help us get this trade done. Because, listen, I'll call a spade. I'm not incredibly biased, although I kind of am. I'm not. What's more threatening in the Eastern Conference? Is it Giannis and Jason Tatum, or is it Giannis and Bam? You would be taking crazy pills if you answer Giannis and Bam. I think Giannis and Bam would be a phenomenal duo. I think it would be maybe the best defensive duo in NBA history. I've already said that on today's show. But let's not kid ourselves. Jason Tatum is better than Bam, without a question. So if you're Detroit, what scares you more? Giannis and Bam or Giannis or Tatum? And if you could factor in and ultimately decide, oh, it's going to be Giannis and Bam rather than Giannis and Tatum, wouldn't you do so because it benefits you as well? Like you get better adding Tyler Hero, but you also benefit from Tatum and Giannis not ultimately becoming a duo. So that's why I think Detroit is not only a team that's going to help us get Giannis potentially in a multi-team deal, but they're going to be heavily motivated to do so. And people will say, oh my goodness, Stewart and Duncan or Stewart and LeVert in a first-round pick is way too much for Hero. It's a fine price to pay, even if it's slightly an overpay for Tyler Hero, to land a guy you need and a skill set you need, and also keep Giannis away from Jason Tatum as a duo, in my opinion. So that's another point that I wanted to bring up. Hector with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Rank these Pat Riley moves, signing LeBron, trading for Shaq, or landing Giannis? Well, first of all, I don't know if Giannis gets traded to Miami tonight. We're just live here to hang out and see if it happens. It's a fantastic question. This is actually so hard to answer. Signing LeBron, 1. Trading Giannis, signing or trading for Shaq. So LeBron, Giannis, Shaq. LeBron is 1, although I'm not sure. I mean, it's a different era, right? More free agency rather than trade. But you had a lot of help from Dwayne Wade recruiting. There wasn't much competition there. It was like he was either re-signing with Cleveland. Like, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm misremembering. I mean, I was pretty young. But was there that much competition to signing LeBron? Maybe Chicago. I mean, there was rumors that Chicago could get LeBron and Wade there. So I put that 1 because you were literally adding the best player in the league. And as good as Giannis is, he's top 5 in the NBA for me. He ain't LeBron. He ain't LeBron. So being able to land LeBron in free agency is like crazy. You also got 2 championships out of it. So definitely going there. I put Giannis 2 because although Giannis is at a spot in his career where it's a little bit, I mean, Shaq was older in his career for sure. Giannis is 32. There's not really many suitors out there. I mean, it's really only you in Boston. I do put that above Shaq, though, because if you do get Giannis, you literally, I don't know if beat is the right word, but you would have gotten him over your biggest rival over the last 15 years, which is the Celtics. I mean, it's not your biggest rival of all time, but since 2010, the team that you've gone to war with the most in the postseason is Boston. And for you to be able to acquire Giannis over them as they were the other destination, that's big time. If he gets it done. This is not a done thing yet. I don't want Heat fans to think we already have Giannis. Like, this is not done yet. And things can fall apart last moment. Like, who knows what can happen? I pray to God it doesn't, but you never know. So I'm not acting like it's done, but if it were to happen, I'm going LeBron, Giannis, Shaq. I don't know how you guys feel on that, but that's kind of how I rank. Pigeon base. Shout out my guy. Also, with interest in Isaiah Stewart, could we saw in Miami 305 ball with Dwight Howard and the LA Riot be preview his personality? Well, let's just be real here. Isaiah Stewart ain't afraid to mix it up. And if you don't know who I am, y'all know it's just built in that 585 blood, man. What can I say? No seriousness though. I mean, you guys know I get feisty in the live chat sometimes. I mean, I banned Macmon. It took a while, but y'all know how I got back and forth with him if you watched our watch parties this year. Yeah, no, Stewart will bring physicality. He's an enforcer, but it's like it goes beyond just his enforcing nature. Like, you look at Isaiah Stewart and what he brings to the table. He's physical. He's got a lot of energy to him. He rebounds the basketball. I mean, this year in Detroit, when he was on the floor compared to off the floor, certainly we're better with him off the floor. To be fair, though, Jalen Duren had an incredible season. I'll still say with him on the floor, they were still a plus 0.5 net rating. But Stewart had an offensive rebound percentage of, is this right? Hold on. Let me make sure this is right, because this is fake if it's true. I didn't think it was this good. Give me a second. That's the perfect about being live here. Nothing planned. I can just go on my computer. There's just no way this is right. He averaged 1.6 blocks per year game this year. That's pretty damn good. Let's see here. It doesn't have rebound percentage. Where's the offensive rebound percentage? It's not here. It's got to be here somewhere. But here it is, I think. No, not really. That's defense, advanced. Wait, is this where it is? Okay, here it is. He had a 61 point. No, I'm looking at the wrong number. God dang it. I spent a lot of time on Draft Baller looking at some of these NBA prospects. Not as much time as on Data Baller. Same creator. Oh, man. Either way, at a plus 8.8 defensive plus minus, had 1.7 offensive rebounds per game, 1.6 blocks per game. So he brings a lot of energy defensively, brings a lot of physicality. Can he be a little over the top? Probably. But if you're envisioning a big man to play with Bam and Giannis, like as that third guy, I'd love to have Isaiah Stewart. Still 550 people hanging in. Shout out to all y'all. Another $10 super chat. Shout out to Joseph. Heat with Giannis is huge. Love the spelling, by the way. I know it's not how it's actually spelled, but it's funny. Cracks me up. Who do you think they can as role players? Riley will do whatever he can. So, listen, I don't know what the trade details would be hypothetically, but you have to imagine the Heat will try to keep pick 41 this year, where they have a second-round pick. Depending on who they trade, I'm hoping they can keep Jonas. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I give Pat Riley a lot of shit. If they get Giannis and keep Jonas, I'm building a statue. And a statue might already be built anyway because of what Riley's done for this organization as president and coach at some point. But bro, at this point, now let me make this clear. I would trade Jonas to get this deal done without a second of hesitation. But if you keep him in this deal, bro. But let's say you don't. I like a lot of guards in this range. There's some interesting guys. Jaden Bradley from Arizona, big fan. Clutch, also from Rochester. Fun fact. A lot of Rochester, New York talk today. But he is from Rochester. Actually, someone I went to high school with and played sports with. I played actually basketball, maybe baseball and football with this guy, trained Jaden Bradley. How about that? I like him a lot at 41. Tamin Lipsey from Iowa State. I'm not the biggest fan, but Braden Smith from Purdue is a name that I would keep an eye on. Jack Kyle from Germany. I don't know if you take him because you're looking for more of a win now type of guy at 41, but Kyle's interesting. Ryan Conwell, Aaron Nkrumah, big fan of him from Tennessee State. Seth Trimble from North Carolina, Quadir Copeland from NC State, Jacoby Gillespie from Tennessee, Toga Owe from Kentucky. Those are all guys that I would monitor for the Heat at 41. But if you're talking about vets, I'd keep an eye on Landry Shamet. If the Heat can use that non-taxpayer mid-level, I think Shamet's an option for Miami because he's not going to be re-signed with New York. The Knicks, James Dolan, he doesn't want to go into the second apron. They'd go into the second apron if they re-sign Shamet. So I think Mitchell Robinson and Shamet are gone in free agency. Shamet's an option for Miami for sure. I'd like that. I'd keep an eye on Luke Kennard. Quentin Grimes potentially is an option. I think you got to keep an eye on Chris Middleton on the vet min potentially. If you trade Jonas, is it the worst idea in the world to get Russell Westbrook on the vet min as a backup point guard? I don't know if I'm in on that, but certainly something that would be explored. Nick Richards is a backup center if you don't get one in this deal. Andre Drummond. Those are names that I would say would be considered. We'll see how the details would be finalized because that indicates and kind of forces a lot of different things. But I feel pretty confident in saying that, like, if Miami has the space, Norman Powell will be re-signed if you trade for Giannis. I mean, if you can sign Norman Powell without going into the luxury tax after making Giannis trade, that's going to happen. I would project like a 2-year, $45 million deal, maybe a 2 for 63, something like that. But I do think that Norman Powell is coming back if you sign Giannis or you get Giannis. Soul Chef with another 5-star super chat. I see a lot of people commenting. Cole Zinger, please do not spam. We'll try to get to your comment if we can. I know not everyone can, but if you want to guarantee your comment to get on screen and us talk about it, you're going to have to super chat just because we have a lot of people watching. But we appreciate the energy, Cole. Just please don't spam. Soul Chef, agree with the coach explanation. However, can you really knock Spo and compare to Missoula considering the difference in talent? They have way more. Did they have way more this year, though? Like, seriously, like I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but their best two players this year, obviously Tatum coming back late in the year, a different story. Their two best players were Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And they won 50-plus games and were the second seed in the conference. That's impressive. I don't know if they have way more. I mean, their center rotation was awful. They were playing Neemias Queta, Luka Garza, and then they got Nikola Vucevic, who's like, no offense, like he's a bum at this point in his career. So that ain't happening. I think I'm not saying the Heat were a better roster. Do I think Joe Mazzulla had a Miami better than the 10 seed this year? I say yes. Like, I really think Mazzulla is a hell of a coach. That's no disrespect to Spo. I've gone to war for Spo. People in the comments of our videos and live shows have said we should fire Spo, and I've vehemently, disgustingly pushed back on that. I think it would be the biggest travesty in franchise history. And I said, if you were actually willing to fire Spo, 27 other teams would want to bring him in as their head coach. So I'm not meaning to be disrespectful to Spo in any way because I think he's unbelievable. I just don't think he's the best coach in the league anymore. Top 5, top 3 maybe, but I don't think he's number 1. Oh, he's number 1. We got another super chat from Noah Miller. We'll get to here in 1 second. Do want to remind people about our sponsor on today's show, though, and that is Prize Picks. Download the app today. Get $50 instantly in lineups when you play. Your first $5 is use code HMA. You can make lineups like that one, where I have more on Carson Beck regular season games played and more on Fernando Mendoza regular season games played. You can do season long. You can do daily. You can get on the World Cup action. The U.S. Open, final round tomorrow. We got the W on a daily basis. We've got baseball on a daily basis. They've got so many fun specials throughout the week, whether it be Taco Tuesday, Flex Friday. Unfortunately, I lost my flex lineup yesterday on the USA-Australia game, and I got 2 $10 bonus lineups in return because I lost on Flex Friday. I opted in. You can do something similar. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Want to appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show again. They are absolutely awesome. Go get started. Turn your ball knowledge into cash today. Keep it rolling. Noah Miller with a $5 super chat. As a Bucks fan, well, we appreciate you tuning in from the Bucks perspective. I've had it back and forth with some Bucks fans, positive, mostly negative. But we appreciate you tuning in and getting with us here. I'm excited. I'm just worried how likely it is he gets traded tonight or tomorrow. Listen, I do feel for Bucks fans on a real level, because I remember when Dwayne Wade left the Heat to go to the Bulls, I was like distraught. That like really hurt, because you just like become a fan of this team because of one guy, and then he's no longer on your favorite team, and it's hard. Whether it be a guy retiring, you trade him, he leaves in free agency, however it goes down, like it's hard. So I feel bad for Bucks fans that like their franchise their face of the franchise, they've been going through this for what, 3 years now of like, is he going to request a trade? Is he going to extend? Like blah, blah, blah. Like I do feel bad. Now on the flip side though, if I was a Bucks fan, I would be pretty optimistic about our future. Now I know you could be upset because the GM John Horst hasn't had the most successful history drafting, but you could land a second lottery pick this year, a third first round pick this year, whether it's from the Lakers or Detroit in the 20s. You get some young guys to build around, Kala Ware, maybe a Yakachonis. You got Ryan Rollins, who I know a lot of Bucks fans are excited about. Like there are things that would be exciting to be a Bucks fan. Now, obviously, you don't want to trade Giannis, but I do think that there's some things that can get exciting. I'm taking my hat off for a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, listen, it goes both ways. I know it's unfortunate you don't want to deal them, but I think there's a lot of optimism to go around, potentially. A lot of optimism to go around, potentially. That's what Mr. Jacob's saying. I'm good to show that on screen. So, like, he's excited from a Bucks perspective. Real excited. I mean, listen, there's a lot of exciting things to potentially happen. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not trying to say that Bucks fans should be excited to trade Giannis. Like, you don't want to do that. But I just think Bucks fans think they're not getting a good return for him, and I disagree. Like, why don't you think you're getting a good return for him? Like, I understand nothing will feel like enough, but would you rather have a 30-year-old Jaylen Brown, or would you rather have a lot of hope for the future with the NBA draft and young players? Personally, and I know everyone's different, but like, I would choose more or less in that young player route, because that gives you hope for the future. It gives you hope for the future. Now, we did get an interesting little thing here on the 5 off the floor discard. Remember that quote that we talked about on Chris Haynes saying that like this could drag into July in a free agency? Greg Sylvander said to that, I can confirm that when Haynes said this, Milwaukee did indeed communicate that they were prepared to wait until beyond the draft to trade Giannis. So interesting there. But then he also said, seems like the gap has closed between maybe them not feeling good about a trade and it happening. So maybe I don't want everyone to overreact to me, Greg saying that. But I feel like they may have said that because they wanted to get some more leverage back, and maybe it worked. And maybe Miami's like, all right, we'll ramp this shit up, and we'll try to get a third team, a fourth team involved, so you feel better about it as we get closer to the draft here. Just rolling on more Reddit here. I'm just reading. All right, nothing else too crazy. Another $5 super chat though coming in. No, I agree. South Beach Santa. There's no reason. Like, if they're actually going to trade Giannis because he's not going to extend in Milwaukee, which it seems like that's going to happen, why in the world would you wait until after the draft? Because the best thing you could do in a return for Giannis is get draft capital this year. Why would you risk losing that? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Shout out Noah again with a 5. You're a legend. I completely agree the Heat's offer is the best. How likely do you think it's going to happen, though? Noah, are you asking tonight? You don't have to super chat a response if you just want to comment it. Did you mean tonight or just in general? Because in general, I feel pretty strongly about it at this point. Tonight, though, I don't know. I still think it happens tomorrow. I think Milwaukee is going to give Boston maybe a full 24 hours, aka this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow. No assist tonight and tomorrow. So overall, basically. But I do think Milwaukee's going to give Boston a chance to match or better that offer because they're just looking for the best possible return. Since Giannis is fine going to Boston, his preferred destination is Miami. Don't get it twisted. He wants to be in Miami, but just like Giannis, or just like Damian Lillard, ironically, he was fine going to Boston. The only question is Boston going to be able to get a trade done like Milwaukee did when they swooped in for Damian Lillard? And are they willing to, in Boston, trade Jaylen Brown? But I do think they're going to give Boston 24 hours. I actually don't think it happens tonight. If I had to guess, and I said it earlier on today's live show, I think it's more likely going to happen tomorrow evening around maybe 7 Eastern time, 7, 8 Eastern time, kind of a Sunday night blockbuster. That's kind of my prediction if you had. But if you were to ask me how likely do I think it's going to happen in general and not just tonight, I'm at 80%. 80%. And by the way, that's not just to Miami. I think there's an 80% chance that he's traded. What time is it? 10 o'clock in the next 24 hours. And I've said this before, but from a Bucks perspective, I think you could understand the NBA draft is Tuesday night, right? And if you're the Bucks who prioritize draft capital in this year's draft, wouldn't you want at least 48 hours of prep time before the draft? I would think so. Because like if you get a trade done Monday night or even Tuesday morning or afternoon before the draft, you only have a finite amount of time to maybe reach out to other teams about like, oh, we have all this new draft capital. What do we need to offer you to trade up in the draft? Or just finalize a plan like who we targeting at 10, who we targeting at 13, or if it's a 3-teamer with the Hawks, who we targeting at 8, who we targeting at 10. I just think that the Bucks are going to want like 48 hours before the draft to kind of finalize a plan, make other calls to maybe move up in the draft, move back in the draft. And you're not allowed to explore all of those potential deals and avenues if you make that trade late Monday night or on Tuesday afternoon or morning. So I think personally, this thing's done in the next 24 because that's the best thing for Milwaukee. To me, it's truly the best thing for Milwaukee. Is to get this done, have a plan, and it's over with. That's me. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Another $10 super chat from my guy Jay. Shout out to Jay. Rolly, I saw something about us possibly getting Dalton Connect back if the Lakers get involved in the deal. I'm not with that. What's your feelings about him? See, you're asking the wrong guy. You are. Jay, you're asking the wrong guy. I've been a Dalton Connect guy for a long time. I was really high on him in the draft. In 2024, when he was coming out, let me refine my notes here. Let me pull this up. When he was coming out of the draft in 2024, I had him 7th on my big board. He's 6'5", with a +4 wingspan, 6'9", 8 3-pointers attempt out of college, 39-inch vertical. So he's athletic, got size, can shoot it. Obviously, hasn't been good in the NBA. I'm not going to try to act like he has been, but I would be remiss to not think personally, because of how much I've liked Connect in the past. I think the Lakers have used him incorrectly. I think Miami would get the best out of him. He was 23 entering the draft, so he's going to be 26 this year. And I know he shot 37% last year from three, 34% this year. Had obviously an incredible first 2 months of his rookie season, but kind of fell off from there. I think there's some tap potential there. And I think Eric Spoelstra would get the best out of him. Moving off the ball. He'd obviously benefit from having Giannis and Bam. A lot of the defensive attention. A little bit more open space beyond the arc. Like, if they need to, like, I have no issue with it. Like, if they wanted Isaiah Stewart, I don't know what the contracts are looking up. Let me look it up from the Lakers. Give me 1 second here, folks. Lakers Connect makes $4 million. Stewart makes 15. So maybe it is a Jared Vanderbilt. Well, let's play Trade Machine. And I wish I can't show my screen, I think, right now. Maybe I could. Could I do that? Oh, I think I could. Hold on. Hold on. I could do something crazy here. Hold on now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something cool. I can't do it. Wait, did I do it? I'm lost. Did I do it? Hold on. Did it work? I don't know. I don't think I did. Wait, hold on. Maybe I can. Hold on. Stay with me here. Did this work? Holy shit, it did. Sharp. How does that look? How do you guys think this looks? Good? Oh, yeah. Now it looks good. It's just kind of fire, no? I'm doing this on the fly. We're going to take that super chat off. All right. I think it was dope. All right. We're going to continue to do this now. All right. So maybe this could happen. Let me get the Bucks in here. This is like a 4-teamer. We're not going to put draft capital in this because it'll just be too complicated. But let's just do salaries for fun. Or I just no point of adding draft capital. But Pistons send Hawkes to the Bucks. Ware to the Bucks. We'll leave it there. Stewart to the Lakers. Let's just say we keep it stupid simple. He goes to the Heat. Giannis goes to the Heat. And now we're at 43, 58, 10. So they're leaving 10. They're bringing in nothing. So the Lakers are bringing 15. And maybe you have, like I said, Connect go to the Heat, like Jay Townsend mentioned. And that's kind of why we're doing this here. Get this out of here. Jared Vanderbilt goes to the Bucks. And now the Lakers are taking in 15 mil with Stewart. Outgoing 16 mil. So that works. They send their 25th pick this year to the Bucks. So maybe we'll include picks here. So we'll do to the Bucks 13, and we'll just do 2031 Bucks 2032. This is not going to work, but it's going to say it doesn't work, but it's going to work. Hold on, let me actually get rid of this. We'll just do 20. This will work. 2030, 2032. I just want it for clarity's sakes. All right, so that's there. That's there. Where are we at salary-wise? Good. Miami is taking in $30 million more than they should. And this is where it gets interesting for like a fifth team because, like, do the Bucks want Nikola Jovic? I don't know if they do. So if the Bucks don't want Nikola Jovic, well, then what is our plan here? And that's where this thing gets concerning to me. Like we'll send them to the Milwaukee, but what if they don't want them? Well, then that's where like a fifth team has to come in. And I'm not going to add a fifth team. That feels crazy. I could see it being a 5-team deal though, because even in this scenario, look, Miami's still taking in $18 million more. They're taking in 77.4. They're sending 59.7. And they could do that. Like this would probably work. But is that the most cost effective? I don't know. Let's just say in this world, Jonas goes to the Bucks too. Like this trade probably, did I send this? No, I didn't. Like this trade probably works. Yeah, success. Like, yeah. I mean, listen, the Heat have $16 million in a trade exception. The Heat created a $16 million trade exception when they did the sign and trade to Giannis or with Duncan Robinson to Detroit. So you're taking in $13.8 million, but you're able to use that trade exception for a decent amount of it, right? And it still would say, I listen, maybe I'm still a little off on the money, but it says you would have $24.3 million for Miami before the tax, which would give you the opportunity to still sign Norman Powell back on a like $20 million per year contract. Now, you wouldn't be able to use the non-taxpayer mid-level anymore, but you would be able to re-sign Norman Powell. And that's obviously intriguing. And for Los Angeles, you trade Connect, Vanderbilt, and a first for Isaiah Stewart. Is that too much? Maybe. Vanderbilt's not really seen as too much of a positive. Connect certainly hasn't shown up as big as they'd hope. And pick 25, I mean, if you're the Lakers, you dream that the 25th pick becomes Isaiah Stewart. Detroit sends Stuart LeVert in 21 for Hero. I think they would do that. And then this is where the question comes in. Is Milwaukee taking this? Is Milwaukee taking Jovic, Jaquez, Ware, Jonas, and 5 firsts? They fucking should. Excuse my language. Late night Saturday stream, though. Like, if you're Milwaukee, how do you say no to this? You get 3 first rounders this year at 13, 21, 25. You get 2 futures from Miami. It would be 2031 and 2033 probably. A young big and Ware, a young guard in Jonas, 6 man of the year runner-up in Jaquez, and then Jovic and Vanderbilt, probably not that ideal. Maybe you try to trade Vanderbilt at the deadline. Is this contract a team option or is it's a player option? So he probably opts in. But yeah, like that's certainly an option. Like, am I tripping with saying like this is a good deal for all 4 teams? I mean, the Heat get rid of Hero, Jaquez, Ware, Jovic, Jonas, and 3 firsts. Like that's what we've all expected. But you also don't just get back Giannis. You get back a shooting guard to play off the bench and LeVert, and you get Connect, the movement shooter, off the bench as well. I mean, this is certainly something that I could see happening. Is it the most likely? Probably not, as it's hard to predict any 3-4 team deal. But if you're getting the Lakers involved and they want Isaiah Stewart, I feel like this is the framework that could ultimately get it done potentially. Like, who says no to this deal? I don't think Miami is. Like, they're trading Jovic, Jaquez, Ware, Hero in the firsts. It's kind of what's been expected. Maybe you're a bit bummed that you trade Jonas. Like, you'd want to keep him, but I'm not going to let him derail this deal. You still keep Pelle Larsson. You get LeVert on a 1-year deal, connect, some high upside there as a shooter, and Giannis. Lakers get their big man for Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. They save $1.5 million. The Pistons get Hero, and the Bucks get 5 first-rounders, 3 this year, and young guys. Like, who says no to this deal? I don't know if anyone does. I mean, heck, I'd be trying to swing this shit. I don't know if it gets done, and I don't know if the Lakers are interested. We know Detroit is, but I don't know if the Lakers are. I'd be trying to swing that shit left and right, man. All right. I don't know if this works. We're back. Oh, it did work. That was dope. All right. Oh, look who it is. My guy, Anthony. What's up, man? Send someone on Twitter, say Giannis was supposed to be traded by 10 p.m. Maybe you meant Pacific. Keep up the fire content. You're a legend, bro. Yo, congrats on that tweet, though. What was it, 1.4 million impressions? Hope you had a good time at your 10-year reunion, man. Hope you had a good time. Fortunately, I should say. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I guess you can look in both ways. Unfortunately, the Heat finally didn't get it done, but we still got time. But fortunately, you're able to be in a better spot to react and make content to it. You're a legend. If you guys aren't subscribed to Anthony's channel, please go subscribe to him. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. All right. It's now 11:20 Eastern time, 10:20 at Central time, which is where I'm at. I haven't even scrolled on Twitter in a while because we've been yapping, doing 3-team trades here. See if we missed anything. I hope not. It doesn't look like a trade's happened, but has any other reports come out? Interesting. Hold on. This is fascinating. I'm seeing someone that said Mark Stein and Jake Fisher just dropped a new Substack article, but it didn't say anything about Giannis, which would be hard to believe, but also tells me maybe we're getting close to a deal if they have nothing new to report. I'm just throwing out something. I'm not going to say that's the case, but let me look it up here. Let's see. Yeah. Let's react to Mark Stein's latest Substack article together. This one's written by Jake Fisher, by the way. We'll skim through it. Yeah, not talking about the Bucks and Heat, whatever. Clippers and Nets want to trade back. Kings looking to maybe trade up. Dallas Mavericks are open to moving down in the draft, although they do really like Braden Burries. If Burries is there, they'll take him. If not, they're going to trade back. Clippers might take Burries at 5. I don't hate that. I actually did a mock draft on our Main Chat Sports channel, I think in early May, that had Braden Burries going to Clippers. I really like that fit there potentially. Really good 2-guard that can play on the ball and off the ball with Darius Garland. Memphis could trade up into the top 10. Interesting. So it seems like Dallas, real chance to trade down in this draft from pick 9. Oklahoma City could move around in the draft. I think if OKC moved up in the draft, I think they'd be looking to add a big man, whether it's a Daimar or Morez Johnson Jr. I know this has nothing to do with Giannis, but let's react to some newly shared NBA intel. The Bulls, they like guards. So they're probably going to take Caleb Wilson at 4. And then at 15, they like guards. Christian Anderson, Phylon, Malik Thomas, Cam Carr, obviously in consideration there probably as well. Hornets will come in with a big man at 18 if they don't use it on 14. They also like Bennett Sturts, Cam Carr. Carr to the Hornets at 14 is interesting. Bring him off the bench behind Kneppel, Miller, LaMelo. Get a big man at 18, whether it's Jane Quaintance or Anna Steinbeck. I like that a lot, actually. Alan Graves could go to the Sixers at 22. I'm not a big Graves guy. Chris Sinak, too, potentially. Oh, here's an interesting note on Detroit. Let's read this. Pistons connected the guards and wings at 21, which is meshing with our intel. They're looking to add shooting and playmaking. Hold on. I know we're talking draft. Does that actually impact Giannis, though? Like, think about this. If they are targeting guards and playmakers at 21, as much as some Heat fans, and I've been on the train at times, I've supported them, but like as much as we flame Tyler Hero for his defensive issues and his lack of staying on the floor, can you actually say that anyone you take at 21, whether it be a Christian Anderson, whether it be an Ibuka Corey or a different guard, are they going to be better than Tyler Hero? Probably not. So maybe that shows that Detroit is willing to trade that 21st overall pick to get Tyler Hero. Lakers are looking for a big man at 25. Jaden Quaintance, Terrace Reed. Interesting options there. Sounds like the Lakers could also target Mitchell Robinson or Robert Williams in free agency and Lou Dort. All right, and that's the end of that. And that's the end of that. All right, we've been live here for an hour and a half. Great audience of late night here. You guys have been a lot of fun. Anthony, my guy, let's get him on screen here again. Can't see the Pistons getting up Holland 21, maybe one or the other. Seems like MKA. Am I tripping? Who's that? Oh, I don't know. Make like Stewart. I'll say this, Anthony. I don't think they give up Ron Holland. I think if they make a trade for Hero, I think it's going to be, I've said it before on the show, I think it's going to be Stewart, LeVert in 21, or personally, I think it's going to be maybe even Duncan and Stewart. Sounds like Stewart's gone, though. Oh, you're saying Milwaukee, MK? Okay, cool. I've seen some people refer to them as that. I get confused, though. You confuse easily. Yeah, Milwaukee may like Stewart. Sounds like they might. We know there's interest from Miami's end, San Antonio's end, maybe even the Lakers' end. I just don't. I think there's value in Stewart, not ton. To me, I don't think Holland goes like you mentioned. It's going to be LeVert and Stewart or Duncan and Stewart. Stewart's gone. It sounds like in this trade, hypothetical world. Because I'm going to take Mark Stein at his reporting word yesterday that he's or in Fisher too, I guess. They kind of have the same intel that Stewart's been bracing for a trade, which means like he's probably been told from the Pistons front office that like, hey, we're trying to upgrade our backcourt and playmaking and shooting, and like we're probably going to use your contract to trade you. So sounds like Stewart's on the outs no matter what. I mean, you have Jalen Duren still there. You have Paul Reed still there. So it's not like you're losing that much backup big and depth there. So I think it's a fine move if you're Detroit. And I think like people will always say it's like Hero, Worth, Stewart, LeVert, and pick 21. I would value Hero at pick 21. I would. I think that's fair value. For as many issues that he has, as many positives he has, like I think that's fair. He's expiring contract, which could be advantageous for a team that's looking to add cap space next offseason at $33 million. He's someone who was an all-star 2 years ago. He's a 20-point per game scorer. It's not the greatest headlining player back, but he's a really good fit in Detroit. He's a perfect fit for them. And sometimes it's not about the player, it's about the fit. And he is a perfect fit, which I'm excited about. For him personally, because I've always rooted for him as a guy, even though I know some Heat fans haven't. So you tell me that salary and LeVert, who doesn't have any value, Stewart, slight value, pick 21, that's fair to me. If the Heat don't get Giannis in the next 48 hours, I'm calling Detroit and seeing if we can get a solo trade done. I'll trade Hero for Stewart and LeVert and pick 21 straight up right now. Right now. Because even if you make that deal and then Milwaukee changes its mind and comes back to you, you would still have those assets to make a deal. So I'm trading Hero for LeVert, Stewart, and pick 21 tomorrow if I can. That's how I feel in the matter. All right. I don't know if we have any more tonight. Do we have anything else? We've been live here for 90 minutes, shooting the shit here on a Saturday night. I mean, no Giannis trade yet. Is Pat Riley making a trade at 11:30 at night on a Saturday night? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't really heard any other momentum so far. I'm scrolling Twitter and I'm seeing a lot of Celtics fans saying that they think they're still getting Giannis. So we'll see there. I would be so down bad. I would be legit so down bad if the Celtics got him. Down bad. Still scrolling. I don't think I see anything. All right. Unless the super chat comes in, I think we're going to sign off here on a Saturday night. Don't think anything is going to happen. If something does happen, hopefully I'm not sleeping. And we'll be able to get into it. I will say this in this entire thing. I can't stand these fake NBA insiders trying to come out and report things. That's one thing I've learned is that they make me want to lose my mind. Anthony, I freaking hope so, man. I have so much, I don't want to jinx anything. You guys don't even know the amount of bookmark tweets that I have I'm ready to send out if we get Giannis. I'm going to count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe that's not a lot. Maybe it is. I have 11 bookmark tweets I'm ready to go back to, and it's full Blitz FC. It's full Blitz FC if we get him. I'm ready. I'm ready to unload the clip. I'm ready to unload the clip. And I hope it happens so bad so I can do it. Honestly, is bad. This is the pettiness and hater in me, dude. Bro, I'd almost rather like just have him get traded. Like I just would be actually more excited to unload the clip on these people than actually get Giannis. Like I swear. Like that people have just been so damn disrespectful to the Miami Heat. Celtics fans can't stand them. I'm sorry, we've had a couple Bucks fans in here who have been really cool, really chill, really nice conversations, really solid comments, like keeping a light, nice conversation, like a real one. There's been like some Bucks fans on Twitter that have been talking like crazy. Like, no offense, I don't want to disrespect the Bucks franchise here, but like, bro, y'all ain't like that. Like the 2021 championship was awesome for you guys. So happy, but like actually I wasn't happy at all. But like I just can't believe it. And like Celtics fans, I can't stand them. So bad. So bad. Oh, my guy JY wins in the building. What's up, brother? I mean, I feel like you would know more than I would. No? Like you're Tyler's cousin. He hasn't let y'all know. He hasn't let y'all know. But sounds like he's going to end up in Detroit if this trade goes through. Honestly, could happen anyway. JY says no. Facts, Isaiah. No, I didn't say he's going to give you money, bro. But, like, he's not going to tell you what he's heard? I don't know. No, in all seriousness, no. Like, we'll probably sign off here, JY. But it sounds like if this trade happens, he's going to Detroit. Maybe it happens anyway. Like, maybe the Celtics come in at the final hour and get Giannis tomorrow by getting a 3-team deal, maybe. But even if that's the case, I feel like the Heat might still trade Tyler to Detroit no matter what. And I think that's the right answer. Yeah, I'm with you, Isaiah. I'm with you. Gash says, as soon as you log off, they're going to announce it. Well, I'm not going to bed. Listen, I live in Central Time, so it's only 10:37. I say only. It's pretty late. I'm tired. But I'll probably be up for another hour at least. So if it gets announced then, I'll be in the studio going live. We'll be in studio live if the Heat get them. I mean, obviously, if it happened like while we're live right now, I would probably just stay here. No reason to sign off and then go in. But yeah, we'll be on the lookout. I'm on watch, man. Tomorrow's Father's Day. I wouldn't say I have plans. I'm doing something with a buddy for like an hour, going to the golf simulator. Big golf guy, if you didn't know that. Down there. Going to the golf simulator with my buddy from like 10 a.m. to 11, which is 11 to noon Eastern time. But other than that, I'm just chilling at home waiting to see what happens. What happens. All right, folks. That's going to do it. You guys were awesome. I mean, a total of 5,500 people tuned in tonight. Stayed at 500 concurrent for a while. Some super chats, some likes, comments. You guys were awesome, man. What a fun stream this was. Hopefully, we'll have a video out tomorrow, but hopefully we'll be live tomorrow on the channel as well, talking about a trade to where Giannis is in Miami. Appreciate you, Mr. Jacob. Mike said he's a Bucks fan. Thanks for being chill and tried our hardest. You guys were awesome, though. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. My guy, JY Win, we'll get this on screen here in 1 second. It's on a super sticker. No comment. Appreciate you with the 5, my guy. You're a legend. If you're trucking right now, stay safe. You guys are awesome once again. Keep on saying the same thing. But hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow live. Peace out. Go Heat. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate y'all for hanging in with us.